What's up and hello. It's a beautiful day outside. Quick update because I know you guys are all wondering. Has Zack pulled the trigger and finally signed up for the Ironman 70.3? Well, if you asked me that question on Friday, the answer would have been no. However, with a smile on my face and less money in my bank account, it's actually not that expensive. I have signed up for the Ironman 70.3 Eagle Man in Cambridge, Maryland. It's June 9th. I have 9 months to prepare for this. Am I terrified? You're damn right I'm terrified. But just like I say, one crazy thing a week, that's like 52 in the year. So yeah, I'm going to do it. I was terrified to sign up. Now I'm going to be terrified to actually do it. But it's going to be a ton of fun, I guess. I mean, I cannot sit here and tell you guys to do one thing if I don't do it myself. So, whatever, there's probably some nickname for that. But, yeah, I decided to sign up. I was riding my bike to the gym the other day to then get on the bike, which is really odd. But I did it. I signed up. I feel great. Now, I feel like I can actually do the swim and the bike right now. Maybe not at a super fast pace, but I can finish it. The run, who knows? I'm trying to figure out if I have to run a half marathon before I do the Ironman, half Ironman. We'll figure all those things out. Anyway, foundations first. So when I am working with a lot of businesses or starting to kind of coach them, what I recognize is that a lot of people want to do something that's many steps down the road before they actually get their foundations first. Now, every business is going to be different, and everything that I do with every business is very custom. So they might have something in mind that they want to do, but their foundations are just not where they need to be first, which why this matters is because if you try to do something before you kind of have those foundations set, what ends up happening is that let's just call it an advertisement, doesn't work because you don't have kind of your best practices or foundations set. Now, this could be as simple as having some sort of website that you own or that you want to control to get people to go towards, to then come back to you, or something super deep. You know, it depends case by case. But the key that I have found is that you really do have to have your foundation set. Now, your foundations can be a plethora of different things, but literally there are a lot of people who will just start, again, let's talk about the campaign, the ads, they'll start just promoting stuff, but they don't have kind of an avenue or a roadmap of where they want these people to go. And so maybe it's a funnel, maybe you want to have a sales funnel, but you don't have any of the layers kind of in there, or you don't even have the first layer, which is to get people to look at your stuff. So let's use this show as an example. So this show might be the first step in a funnel for people. And a sales funnel is basically the series of, let's call them impressions or encounters or campaigns or examples that you take your visitors or your audience and you funnel them down into a series of what word do I want to use? A series of scenarios to get them to go from basically 100 down to a number less than 100. And so in a quick kind of way, let's say you bring 100 people to your website. Not all 100 of those people will buy from you. It's highly unlikely. But if you put them through some sort of sales funnel, which is the scenario of taking a visitor going from, let's just say, your website to actually becoming a paid conversion customer or whatever you want to call it, a lot of cases, that number is actually a 1% conversion rate. So that meaning of the 100 that come to your website, listen to your podcast, whatever, only one of those people is going to convert into the example that you want to, into the customer that you want them to. And so that's why it's so important to kind of get these people to go through these different scenarios. So let's say that that's what you want to do is you want to have people go through some sort of sales funnel. I recommend that. I do that with a lot of people. I do it myself. And so in those conversions, which literally it's just like, I guess we could do some drawings, but it's like, imagine that it's a super So it is basically a lot of people go in. So it's 100 people go in, let's just say. And then of that, usually it's 5 to 7 positive steps. You get one of those out. So you get 100 people in and maybe one of them comes out. Now, yes, you can get higher conversions than that, but some of the biggest companies in the world, their conversion rate is less than 1%, and that is really, really strong. Now, depending on what you do, that number can go up higher, depending on what you're selling. If you're selling something that costs $10,000 for like 2 minutes, that number isn't going to be there. How many people do you think want to go to an amusement park that then don't go to an amusement park? Same thing. Sales funnels are the scenarios that you take people through becoming like an audience to know about you to actually converting them into a paid user, customer, whatever you want to do. But those foundations are important. And so if you do not get your foundation set, what you'll find is that people are going to get lost somewhere. And not only are they going to get lost somewhere, that you're going to be spending a lot of money and time and attention towards these campaigns that you want to work, but there are dead ends and roadblocks. And so, yes, your plans will absolutely change over time, and you want to be able to manipulate, edit, tweak these plans as accordingly. But there are some foundations in place that you want to make sure that you have. Number one is if you're bringing visitors to your site in general, what do you want that person to do when they come to your website or your Facebook page or whatever? Number one, you want them to know who the heck you are. Number two, you want to try and sell that you're credible really, really, really fast. And number three, maybe there's some sort of call to action to get something from them in return for you. So maybe it's, hey, give me your phone number, give me your email address. In return, I'm going to give you access to this podcast, which would be great, right? Whatever it is, you're going to have to figure out what those things are, whatever those scenarios are that you want them to. But most people, if you go to a website and you're like, well, I don't know why I'm here or what I'm supposed to do, that's not a good thing. Maybe it's call this number. It could be so many different things. Download 4 free chapters of my book, which is something I think I'll end up doing, but I don't have the 4 free chapters to give you yet. But I will soon. Maybe it's you go to Amazon and you watch the trailer. If you like the trailer, they'll probably try to upsell you to watch the movie or whatever it might be. Maybe it's a gym membership, and on the gym membership website, maybe it's the YMCA, they go, oh, come try a week for free. You give us your contact information, we'll give you the week for free. They know that if they can get you to like it a little bit, you're probably going to buy from them. Hopefully, the food court method, where the person's going to give you some General Tso's chicken or a piece of a sandwich. Oh, if you like it, maybe you'll buy more. Same thing at Costco's and BJ's and whatever, the Sam's Clubs. Those are all examples of kind of getting people to like you. You got to set those foundations so that you can convert them into the customers at a later time. And so most people, will try and be like the cable salesman, will sell you immediately, which you don't want. But the number two is, what are the foundations? What are the keywords that are associated with your business? What do you want people to know? Are you credible? All these foundations are insanely valuable and important. And if you don't do them, it's very likely that visitors will come to your website, have no idea who you are, how you can help them, and leave before you can contact them more. So make sure that you have your foundation set. When someone comes to a page of your website or a Facebook page or a blog post or an advertisement, or in physical world, if you're at you're manning a booth at a conference or a convention, when they walk in, like they would be visiting your website, it's the same thing. What do you want them to think? Well, number one, you want to greet them, be like, hello, it's great to see you. But then make it easy for them to consume and understand who you are, how you can help them, and why you're credible. If you can do those things, those foundations are going to be closer and more satisfying to the person who's visiting to get down those steps. So make sure that you have your foundations set. In fitness world, it's me making sure I know what I'm getting into. Yeah, I signed up for an event, sure, but I need to make sure that I have shoes that will work, a swimsuit that'll work, probably goggles. There's a whole bunch of things that my foundations have to be, that I've been training for these things. All of this is the same thing in the business world. What are your foundations that you need to ensure that when you go in for that quote-unquote hard sale, that you improve your chances of getting that. If you don't, you probably won't, and your conversion numbers will be, boom, less rather than thumbs up. And not just one thumb up, double thumbs up. Woo! Thank you all for always being here. Really, truly appreciate it. As always, if you like what you're seeing, give it a like, a love, subscribe, share, whatever. If you're not yet, also think about subscribing to the email that I send every Monday as a recap of my favorite episode of the week. You can find that in the show notes. I think we call it the weekly roundup. Until next time, peace. I'm Zack Miller. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Laters.